One of my most memorable experiences growing up was when my parents took my brother and sister and I to Dartmouth for an alumni college, and I spent the entire week while we were there catching frogs, swimming in the river, playing on the amazing mainframe computer. This was 1970s computing. I thought this was the most amazing place in the entire planet. I had such a good time, and besides, I got to have all the ice cream I could eat in the cafeteria. I mean, this was fabulous for a 7th grader. So when it came time to pick college, what other choice would there be? I wanted that ice cream. I wanted those frogs. I wanted that experience in the woods. When I was at Dartmouth, I was like most students. I didn't have any idea what I wanted to major in, but somebody, I think it was my father, gave me the advice to find the best professor and take whatever the heck he or she is teaching, and it'll work out. And I did exactly that. I found a professor of ancient Near Eastern mythology, go figure, and took his class, and I was hooked. It was the most fascinating thing I ever did, and my roommate and I both did the same thing because we just really enjoyed that intellectual pursuit, and it was fun. Well, in high school I studied French for 4 years. I was a star pupil and I couldn't speak a word. And so when I got to college, I decided that I had to go study abroad, and I ended up spending 4 months with the family, and had a great time. I ended up returning later on and was a Fulbright teaching fellow in Grenoble. Had a great time.
So you're fluent?
Yeah, I'd say I'm fluent. I'm not bilingual, but I'm certainly fluent. Can get by in any situation. My first job out of college, I was an Ivy League educated guy, and I was really had high aspirations, and so I decided to be a waiter in Washington, D.C. I was a waiter for about a year or so, and I was horrible. I was just horrible at it. My first bottle, I was really excited actually one time when a customer ordered a bottle of champagne. I'm thinking, oh, great tip. But then I opened it and it exploded all over it. So that blew that evening, but yeah, I was a horrible waiter. So I was teaching at Harvard. I got this great job as a teaching fellow at Harvard when I was in graduate school, and I was so excited to be teaching at this most prestigious university in the world. And what I came to realize was that here we are at this prestigious university, and all these students who are paying umpteen millions of dollars to get an education, what were they getting? They were getting me. I didn't know what I was doing. I was reading 2 or 3 days ahead of them. I was putting together an interesting, fabulous discussion, but it was just me. I went to the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy at Tufts University, and I had been teaching French. I had been in France for a long time. I knew I wanted to do something international, but I didn't want to teach. I didn't want to conjugate verbs anymore, so I ended up studying economics and politics and culture and hanging out with a very international student body. I really had a great time, but the most important thing that I did when I was at Fletcher was I found my mate there. I found my wife. She actually hired me. I was a Starkand graduate student. She was a teacher there, or a administrator there, and that was the most productive thing I did the entire time I was there. I've spent my entire professional life in a campus, on a campus, working with students, working with schools. I was a high school teacher. I was a graduate student. I taught at Harvard, taught at Tufts. Then I taught in Hong Kong for 4 years. Came back to the University of Denver, was a professor, associate dean. I've been in and out of schools my entire life, and it's really fun as a college counselor to be able to turn sort of all that knowledge and make it accessible to families and to students when they're trying to figure out where they want to go to college, because it's not as mysterious as it may seem, but it's being able to share my experience and knowledge with with families so to empower them to make the right decisions. You know, I love my job. I love working with students. I love helping them figure out what college is the best fit for them. And it always has a happy ending. If we are able to find that right fit, the college that works for them, the parents are happy, the students happy, I'm happy. I mean, what else could be more exciting than finding a young person's, helping them find their future? I mean, it's just such a privilege and such an exciting moment in their kids' lives. I love my job.